Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about Dashers will cancel once they get assigned to it. Store manager shows what it's like when Doordash orders take long to get picked up by drivers. Honestly, when I see something like this, I see either one of two things. One, a manager that's not a fan of no tip, no trip, which a lot of managers would be not a fan of no tip, no trip. Or two, people don't like it when drivers unassign, which is normal. Which is why I personally say never accept an order where one thing goes wrong and you have to unassign it because of the lack of payout. Only accept orders you're willing to follow through on, no matter what. So with that said, I actually want to go over what this person is saying about the DoorDash orders he's experiencing in his store, how it actually is for us drivers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A store manager in Washington used TikTok to explain what happens when DoorDash orders wait a long time for a delivery to be assigned to them. Okay, so having an order wait a long time before a delivery driver gets assigned to them, that's because the customer didn't tip their driver. Like, that's just how it is. If the customer isn't going to tip their driver, it's going to take a long time for it to get assigned. If the driver takes a long time to get assigned, the store is going to have to watch that order sit for a long time. That's why you have so many people saying no tip, no trip, and advocating for more drivers to get paid what they're actually worth. But the fact of the matter is that if there is no tip at this time, we can't do anything about it. TikToker Itskenbruce says he wanted to share a learning opportunity for people who have never seen DoorDash from a restaurant or store's point of view. His video went viral as of Monday with about 34,000 views. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. In the video, he shows the DoorDash order that was just placed at his store. He says once orders are placed, he receives them immediately, but has to wait for a DoorDash driver to be assigned them. With the order in his video, it took about 10 minutes for a Dasher to be assigned. The app showed the driver would arrive at the restaurant in about 14 minutes. Okay, so the order itself took 10 minutes to be assigned. And then the driver is supposed to be there in about 14 minutes. That's plenty of time to make the order. And the driver was already assigned, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Here's the kicker, and this is what happens quite a lot. Dashers will cancel once they get assigned to an order. Bruce says, there have been times where we had no Dashers for 10 to 20 minutes to the point where we had to call DoorDash, and DoorDash will assign somebody. From what I understand, with a little bit of payment incentive. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this paragraph, so let's go over it line by line. Dashers will cancel once they get assigned to an order. I am a firm believer that you never accept an order that you will potentially unassign if something is going to take a long time for. Let's say it's an $8 order or $7 order, and they say it's going to be 20 minutes. You're going to unassign that because who can wait 20 minutes for $7? Not to mention the amount of time it would actually take to get to the customer, and that makes sense to me. But let's say it's the same order, but it's $15. You'll stick it out, in most cases anyway. Now, yes, there's a lot to be said about the customer's order being ready, how long you've been waiting, and things like that, and how far away you are from that customer. And then there are the irresponsible merchants that should just do their job and get the job done quickly, and I will agree with that point as well. There have been times where we had no Dashers for 10 to 20 minutes. That's because the customer probably didn't tip their driver, so why would we accept an order that doesn't actually pay properly? We had to call DoorDash, and DoorDash will assign somebody, from what I understand, with a little payment incentive. You mean it takes more than a $2.50 base pay to actually have us drive 9 miles? Don't gaslight us and put it on us. If we're not going to be paid properly for our business, then it doesn't make sense to actually do the work. I genuinely believe that this guy doesn't know a damn thing about the business model for us Dashers. He adds that DoorDash drivers must show an ID to pick up orders containing alcohol, like the one he was using as an example order. In response to a comment on the video asking how he verifies the age of the actual customer through ordering through DoorDash, Bruce wrote the Dasher had to card the person they're delivering to. We have stickers that even state as such that we put on every bag. Quick run through on the concept of alcohol delivery through DoorDash. DoorDash drivers have to scan the ID of the customer to make sure that they're delivering it to the right person. And not to mention that the person's over 21, they can actually do that, etc., etc., etc. It's not necessarily the responsibility of Bruce to ID the Dasher, although I definitely understand them doing so. But that is basically how most restaurants are doing things, and they have every right to do so. Bruce's viewers chimed in the video's comment section on why they think DoorDash drivers decide to cancel picking up orders. They said it has to do with how much the customers tip. I mean, tips are certainly a factor in accepting orders. I think inexperience causes people to accept and decline. Sometimes it's even the system itself that actually almost tricks you into accepting an order that you didn't want to accept. Ones that take a long time to get a Dasher most likely don't have a tip on them, so it's not worth the Dasher time or gas, one viewer commented. And that right there is no tip, no trip in a nutshell. DoorDash does not assign a Dasher, it sends the offer and the Dasher decides. Small tips equal no pickups. Another viewer commented. I like how these commenters actually have a genuine understanding of not only the business model, but how DoorDash works. They're probably actually Dashers, and they're actually doing the work, and they're chiming in. Someone else wrote, sounds like it's a no-tip order, or a low tip. I don't take those. It's all about the money. I don't take any orders under 10. This guy sounds exactly like me, man. My gosh. As a DoorDasher, if the tip is low and it is a far distance, I will not take it. I will lose money. All the Dashers in my area do this. Another agreed. That's facts. That's 100% facts. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. What I'm seeing here from Ken's perspective, the store manager, he doesn't have a true understanding of the business model, but he is doing what he thinks is right based on the restaurant in question. The problem is that the goals and the values of the restaurant do not match the goals and the values of the driver. Therefore, the customer cannot receive their orders unless they give a proper tip. And again, you can make the argument of DoorDash should pay us better and our pay should not be so dependent on customers' tips. And I will support your statement, by the way, because I do believe that we shouldn't be so dependent on customers' tips if we don't have to be. But the problem is that we do, and the idea of that changing is borderline impossible. Again, it's not the restaurant's fault or this store manager's fault for not understanding the business model. They signed up for DoorDash to have orders delivered. They didn't understand how DoorDash works going into it. Although this also applies to Uber Eats and Grubhub. I'm glad a lot of drivers are chiming in to explain this to him. In reality, unfortunately, I don't believe that this restaurant is truly going to make any changes, nor can they really make changes. Like, think about it like this. This restaurant is doing what's best for his business, just like we do what's best for our business. Unfortunately, this is why no tip, no trip is standing as strongly as it is. Although the point he made, accepting the order and then canceling it, I do believe that's a problem. Only accept orders that you're willing to follow through on. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!